Hello everybody and welcome again to another Chew and Chat.
That's right, that's what you're here for, ain't it? That's what we're here for too. We have some good food with us right now. Oh my goodness. I mean, today we're going to be on a little bit on the luxurious side today. We got a whole lot of meat because you guys were super generous and you donated last time, so we went out and we bought meat.
I really want to buy this.
Well, soon you'll get it. Shoot. Just be patient and wait. So we got a whole lot of meat, and then we have tea. It's a dessert tea that we'll have afterwards. It's chocolate cinnamon tea, and it was Martha Washington's favorite tea. It smells so good.
And what's it called? Cacao?
Yeah, it's called Cacao Cinnamon Tea. C-I-N-N. I told Kenny that sounds like a really bad perfume name. Cacao Cinnamon from Chanel.
From Chanel.
Oh my gosh.
Let's see. Okay, that smells really good.
That smells really good. It smells like chocolate cinnamon.
Yeah.
And it comes in these flakes. So obviously they're not tea leaves. I think it's the outer shell of roasted chocolate beans.
I think so.
And they toss some cinnamon in there. But this is a historically accurate tea. People were obsessed, especially with hot chocolate and all things drinkable chocolate back then. And you would have had it for breakfast. It says the only ingredients: roasted cacao shells, cinnamon. So it's 2 ingredients. You know, dark chocolate is actually healthy for you. Yeah. It's once you add the sugar and stuff that it becomes unhealthy, but...
Also, the chocolate drink you talked about was one of George Washington's favorite drinks.
Right. Well, that's this was Martha Washington's favorite, and I also think, of course, her husband was her favorite.
They were chocolate-holics.
George Washington wrote to his agent, "She will," as in his wife, "thank you to get 20 pounds of the shells of cocoa nuts."
20 pounds, wow.
So there's a quote on the back. She wanted 20 pounds of this stuff delivered to her house. I don't know how quick she would go through that, but...
I mean, that lasts us like a month. Or
speak for
with
yourself.
her around here.
I drink a lot of tea.
Oh, even faster than that? Okay.
I drink a lot of tea, but I've never had chocolate tea, and I'm really excited to try it.
Me too.
I remember earlier on a couple videos back we mentioned chocolate tea. Okay, let's eat. Let's eat. So we got 2 chickens here.
You want me to serve them?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Also, before we go any farther, if you would like to see this meal being made, please go over to Early American. That is our main primary channel where we cook it over there. And
we eat it and talk over here.
That's right.
Among other random things.
Yes.
You think I can eat a whole
Well, this
hen?
is just the easiest way to serve it.
Right, that's true. It looks... I mean, look at that. That's a pile, if I ever seen one in my life.
Come on, get in there.
And then we also have the crust over here. We'll talk more about the crust later.
That's good.
But, and also why the crust isn't on top of the chicken right now. By modern standards, that's very strange.
Rice?
Yes, please. I love chicken with rice.
Justine makes the best rice.
Thank you, Ron. I would like half of that.
Half of the rice?
Yeah, half of that plate, please. Because once I run out of rice, it's probably the end of it. For me, I'm probably not going to eat anymore. Because it don't taste good unless you have rice with it. And you want the rest?
Not all of it.
Oh.
I like your rice, but I'll let you enjoy the rest of it.
Well, thank you.
Get in the gravy.
Yeah, we need that spoon. So that we... Now, don't put too much on, because I found out that there's quite a bit... There's a lot of heavy cream in here, and there's a bit of butter.
So, I'm going to put a lot on mine, and just like one little dab on yours, I guess.
Well, more than a little dab, but I mean, it's just very heavy.
Look at that.
But it's so good.
Yeah.
I already had a plate. See, that's the problem. Ron always out-eats me every time we're here, because I always have a plate already before we film, so I can film myself eating it. On Early American.
You don't eat the whole thing, you just kind of taste it.
Well, I put like a little tiny plate. I eat 90% of it. And then I put it down and put it with this, and then we eat it again. Here.
You gotta tell them all the secrets, do you?
Yeah. I have to have room in my stomach for this.
We have quite a lot to talk about today, guys.
We do.
And thank you for watching our latest videos. That's the best way that you can help support us, to be honest with you. We don't do Patreon, so we have these two channels. Patreon, you have to pay for that content. YouTube, you do not have to pay for it. You just click on it. So by watching Early American and then coming over to Frontier Patriot to watch this portion of it, that really helps us. So we deeply appreciate it.
And that's the reason why we don't have a Patreon, because it costs money to join it, and we don't want to make it mandatory for people to pay money to watch us. I mean, us?
We're nobodies.
Yeah, we're nobodies. Why would we ask people to pay?
Who's Ron and Justine?
Yeah, who's Ron and Justine? I don't know.
Is that your third cousin?
I'm still trying to figure out who I am, so why would you want to watch who I am right now? So, but I mean, if you want to make a donation on Frontier Patriot, that's very nice. So we can buy meat, but it's not mandatory like it would be if we had a Patreon. Right.
And we do have links to Venmo and PayPal on our About sections in YouTube. But you can also leave a super chat if you wish.
It's just not it's not mandatory.
We just had people ask about things, so we just figured we'd address that so everybody knows. Because it's really hard to type all that to everybody. So that's how we're doing it.
That's
right. You want to say grace? Or you want me to say grace?
You can do it this time.
Ready? Lord, thank you for this food. Thank you for the most wonderful woman in the world that I have. Keep us all safe. And bless America and the rest of the world. Amen.
Amen. That was very sweet. Especially the part about me and bless America.
Alright.
It's like, where do you even begin with this?
I don't know.
It's a whole chicken.
You need a knife? You want me to slice it for you down the backbone so you got...
Yeah, could you please?
Yes.
And these are little tiny Cornish hens. I thought that was the most reasonable approach to putting a chicken in a plate and a pie to cook it, was to get a little tiny hen.
Oh, I didn't really... They're so delicate, I just kind of broke it into pieces for you, but now at least it's easier.
Yeah, that makes it a lot easier. Thank you.
I know you like the leg. There's a leg.
I do.
Look
I
at
like
that
the
little
legs.
thing. That little thing's tiny.
It's little.
It's Justine size.
Littler than my leg.
Boy, this cuts right through the bones on these.
You know, I think this meat is tender, and that's part of it. I mean, this is a good knife, but this is tender meat.
Right. So we decided to use Cornish hens because back then, the chicken breed that they had were a little smaller than today's chickens. And you gotta think, today, you know, they're the supplements that are in the food and everything, and
right, Lord knows.
Especially the ones you buy from the store, they're raised to be meaty.
They glow in the dark.
Right. So, and also like she said, the fit inside the pie, Cornish
hens
was the best option for that. And then they're still a chicken. They're just a small breed of chicken.
Well, they're hens. They're the ladies. Us ladies are smaller.
This is good.
It's very tender. Cook it in the gravy, which has cream and butter in it. Even normally the driest part of a chicken, it's juicy.
Now, I know somebody's probably thinking, there's no way that's done. It's so pale. But remember, the crust was on top, so it's basically like baking a chicken or boiling a chicken.
Almost like a boiled chicken, but it's been boiled in gravy.
Right, so there's no color to it, but it is cooked.
Oh yeah,
and that is delicious. Whole, I tried to get the leg, but the whole bone.
Yeah, the bone literally just fell out. That's done.
I'll just gnaw on that for a bit. That's good flavor.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Go back fire.
That is good. That is tender.
Sometimes I throw the bones in the fire. I don't want the chickens to eat it and, you know, get...
Yeah, choke on it. Yeah. Well, we don't want the chickens to eat chicken either. I mean, we have some morals. We don't want them to be cannibals. That's kind of messed up.
Well, somebody asked last week, they're like, would they normally burn the bones?
Burn the bones?
I just threw it in the fire just to...
I mean, you could do so many... You could do so many things with bones, but... Here's the thing, at the old house museums in St. Genevieve, they found various animal bones buried under the dirt outside the windows of these houses. So you know what that means? They did worse than we did. They literally just threw it out the window. And also by the windows, they would found broken pieces of pottery. So if there was a bowl like this and you chipped it, you would just toss it out the window. And so that's where they find, when they do these digs around old 18th and early 19th century houses, where they find most of the goods, is outside the window and in the privy, aka the toilet. Now some of it the outhouse. Some of it they purposefully will throw it in there. Some of it accidentally falls down there when you're undoing your pants.
Oh yeah.
And then your favorite pipe just falls in there. Once it's there, forget about it. We'll find it 200 years later.
Another bone.
Yeah, there's a lot of little bones and Cornish hens. That's the downside.
I could probably chew them up, but I'm not going to risk it.
No.
Because they are pretty brittle, but they're...
The meat is good, though.
We ain't got no doctor here in St. John. I ain't met him yet anyways. Oh, we got a good horse doctor, but I don't know if I want him fool around in my mouth if I got a bone stuck in me.
Now, you might be wondering, why is Justine not touching the chicken with her hands? I just have this thing where I don't like touching food with my hands when it's like
greasy too.
Yeah, I don't like.
A lot of butter.
Like when I'm cooking, it's different, but when I'm eating, I don't like touching it. I'd rather, if I have a big turkey leg, for example, I'd rather wrap the bottom joint of it in a tissue paper or something and then eat it like that. I just don't like it in my hands covered in grease when I'm eating.
She's a lady. Me?
Yeah, you can tell, right? The way I eat, not.
Right on pants.
Yeah, some people were saying, like, Justine, it's not ladylike to lean towards your plate while you eat. But I mean, honestly, were you raised in a barn? Well, kinda, I guess, so. I mean, what can I say?
Define barn. I've seen some pretty nice barns.
Yeah, there's some pretty nice barns. Can't train me.
Today is an awesome day.
Why do you say that?
Good food, good woman, birds chirping, sun's shining. We got a thunderstorm coming in. I can see the dark blue clouds through the bedroom window, so...
You're right.
Maybe in a half hour it might start thundering if y'all are still with us. We'll see.
I am very grateful to be alive.
Me too.
All of you should be grateful to be alive. It is a beautiful day to be alive on this side of the dirt.
It is. No matter what you're going through, how bad the world may seem.
There's always beauty in every single day.
You're doing good.
Yeah. If you're breathing and if you can appreciate beauty, then your life can be a wonderful place. And if you have chicken, then it's a really wonderful place.
With bacon draped across it.
Yeah, with bacon.
Well, you know why? You know bacon's red and white, right?
Yeah, because of fat.
And you know why American flag's red and white stripes, right? So we love bacon.
What's the blue?
Water, I guess.
Our beautiful lakes.
Bacon.
Bacon?
Yeah.
Old bacon. Ew.
Yeah. I can picture it. I can picture an American flag made with bacon.
Blueberries.
Strips instead of the red white. It's a bacon strip because they're reddish white.
Blueberries grow very well around here.
Okay.
Are blueberries native to America?
I don't know that.
I don't know. But if they are, then there you go. There's your answers.
I'm sure somebody will look it up and tell us. I didn't research that before this.
No, because I didn't know he was going to say that.
Because this ain't scripted.
No, not at all. Yeah, come back next week and you can get more education.
Where we ask the questions and you find the answers.
Exactly.
It's the opposite.
Oh, if we're going to do that, we'll be here all day. I have so many questions about life.
Yeah, so I'm wondering. Just kidding.
Can you teach me how to do geometry, please?
Geometry? I'm going to learn trig.
Well, I'm still on geometry. I mean, advanced a little bit, but...
This is really good.
It is really good. It's so juicy and tender.
The gravy with the rice, oh my gosh.
You know, talking about how it's tender, now I'm going to mention why in the world this pie crust is not on top of the chickens right now.
Why are we waiting for that? Can I have some now?
Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, I wasn't holding you back, Ron. I'm just eating.
Yes, she was. Y'all seen it? Man, I tried to get the leg again, and this one just comes right out.
Yeah, it just slides right on out. And by the way, this cooked for 1 hour.
Yeah.
So it's not like it was in the oven for 3 hours at 200 degrees or something to be that tender. So with the pie crust, a lot of the times if you were really, really rich, you could have just thrown it out. You
Right.
could have maybe not even eaten it.
And it depends on what kind of pie crust you made. You could even just do
Flour
water
and
flour.
water.
And it's just a cooking vessel, like you were saying.
It's a sealant over your lid. It helps the food inside to stay juicy and moist, which I know that's your favorite word, everyone out there. Moist.
I like juicy.
He likes juicy.
Like the chicken. Oh, that's so good.
So it helps the food to stay tender. And that's all that there is to it. So some people would have thrown the paste top out after cooking with it. Some people would have eaten it. You would have torn it up into pieces and eaten it kind of like bread. But it wasn't mandatory to eat it. Not at all. Which by today's standards is insane.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you were wealthy back then, you were so wasteful. In a way that, even by modern standards for the super uber rich, would be almost taboo. Because nowadays we have more of a sense of, oh, the environment, we don't want to waste things.
Right.
You know, there's poor people out there, we don't want to waste stuff. Back then, if you were wealthy, and I don't mean like you're in Versailles Palace wealthy, I mean middle business class and up, you didn't really have the sense of, oh, I can't waste this because it's bad for the environment, or, you know, there's poor starving people. Like, you just didn't really think like that.
Well, back then everything was natural, so there was no...
Right. You know, nowadays, though, it's like, oh, all the water that went into making this meat, and it's bad for the environment to waste it. Like, that's the thing.
It's the same water. It's been here since the beginning of time.
It's because it takes electricity to clean the water.
Right.
And to pump it.
And it takes fuel to power that electricity.
So there's and there's a lot of he's right though, but there's a lot of receipts back then that are so wasteful.
Oh yeah.
I mean, by modern standards, it just don't make sense. Like, make a gravy.
I was just getting ready to say that.
Yeah, like there's almost every single gravy recipe you'll find is just so excessive back then. Make a gravy by boiling a huge joint of beef with the meat still on it, and then put in some celery and these fancy herbs and spices. What do you think they would have done with meat that's been boiled for 3 hours until it has no flavor left in it? They were just throwing it out. They would have given it to their chickens or their pigs. And we know that because if you look at old houses where they've done archaeological digs, they find these bones where the animal pens are outside the window. Or in the privy.
Now out here where we live, they wouldn't do that.
No.
We'd be eating
down
to the bone.
Yeah, we're not that wealthy. We're not poor though.
No,
we're not poor.
We're pretty good.
We're kind of like in this in between.
We're low key. We don't want people to know, like them damn pirates.
No.
Over at the fort.
All I gotta do is see how many windows we got though.
I still can't stand that Arthur. That damn treasure. We better find that treasure before he does.
Oh, you think it's real now?
Well, I was doing some thinking. I think it's possible that it could be real.
What
and
makes
if
you
it
say
is,
that?
we need to get our hands on it.
What makes you say that?
Yeah, I don't know. I just got a feeling.
He got some information he don't want to share with me. Ladies out there, you know when a man's hiding some information from you.
I'm not hiding nothing. It's a feeling in my gut.
Right.
I feel it in my bones.
Oh, he feels it in his bones. So where the treasure is supposed to be buried is modern day Crystal City.
Festus, Crystal City, Jefferson County.
Crystal City. Now, how far away is that from here, would you roughly say?
So, if we pull up our map here, you will see St. Louis up here at the top. You come down south to St. Genevieve. It's roughly 50 miles. In between St. Genevieve and St. Louis, there is Jefferson County. Not to be confused with Jefferson City. That is in the middle of Missouri, in the capital of Missouri.
Yeah, this is just Jefferson County.
So Jefferson County. And I believe it's 1716 or something like that.
Very early 18th century.
Yeah, give or take a year or two. The notorious pirate, Blackbeard, Edward Teach, supposedly had his boat up the river. Maybe it wasn't the Queen Anne's Revenge, but a pirate, you're going to have more than one ship.
It was a small boat.
Yeah, so they had come up the river, and the waters were up.
And I don't mean to interrupt you, but most pirates back then had small boats.
Yeah.
It's not like every single pirate group had a giant, massive boat with 10 sails on it, looking like they just came
like
from
Johnny Depp.
Yeah, looking like they just came from the British Navy or something. Most pirates had these dingy, flat-bottom river boats.
Yeah, look like barges.
Right, and even if you were a better-known pirate like Blackbeard, you still would have taken these little dingy boats down on smaller streams that connect to the main river.
Because they don't have the depth. You would drag your bottom if you had a big ship.
The water is just too shallow. But if you want to get to a lot of these trading posts and towns, you have to go up these more shallow streams of water, so you can't take a huge boat up there.
So anyways, story has it, the waters were up high enough, they got stuck in a, I'll call it a lake, or a reservoir.
Yeah, because the water went away.
And then the water went away, so they had to cut down trees and roll, I don't know what that system's called at the moment, it escapes my mind, but you lay the logs down, you put your boat on it, and you push it, and you keep putting logs in front, and it rolls like an assembly line rollers do. Right.
But it said that while they were doing that
they buried treasure.
Yeah, to lift some of the weight of the boat, they had to leave for a while to get the supplies to come back to get their boat out of the mud. And then, so while they were doing that, they didn't take the treasure with them because that's just too heavy. So there's a theory that they buried it there. And some people have gone looking for it.
And I want to correct myself. I think I said 17 or something like that. I believe that's whenever he was killed. This was like around 1710, but I don't have the research in front of me, and it's very hard to get information on.
Yeah.
There's very few articles. And there has been a few small digs that have happened, I would say in the last, I don't know, 30 years if I had to guess.
Right.
I don't remember the dates.
Right, in this area.
And we actually drove to that place and looked at it about a month ago.
Yeah, we did. We drove there. There's a lot of these little, what do you call it? Streams?
Little
ravines?
Yeah, and then reservoirs of water.
Yeah, so it looks like a swamp.
Yeah.
So, but some of them, the channels of water are pretty big, so you could definitely take a pretty sizable river boat down there. So it's cool. I mean, it's a swamp.
And the river, you know, just like here in St. Genevieve, goes right up to Jefferson County. So yeah, that's pretty neat.
Right. So on the map again, just so everyone can orientate yourselves where our whole life story is taking place, we are in St. Genevieve, Missouri. The Benjamin Stevenson house is in Edwardsville, Illinois.
That's where our story started.
Yep, it's right across the river, the Mississippi River.
Right across from that is St. Louis.
Yep, right across from that is St. Louis. And Candy Stores downtown in St. Genevieve.
Yep.
If you just want to kind of orientate yourself to see where everything is going on that we talk about all the time.
Yeah, these are real places.
Oh yeah, they're real. Of course they're real places. We go there every day. We live there.
I've been thinking, we need to name our place.
We need to name our...
We're on a nice little hill here, and we got the valley to look down in. What do you name?
Well, I told you I thought like a really dramatic name for our homestead one day would be Rayfield Ridge.
Rayfield Ridge?
His last name is Rayfield.
Let's call this one... Let's see, you like cooking with molasses, don't you?
Oh, we're not going to call it no molasses.
Molasses Hollow, how about that?
Molasses Hollow?
Yeah, I like it. It's got a nice ring to it.
Now, he's making fun of me because I do not like cooking with molasses.
Well, you always do.
Yeah, I always do because I like the end result. Gingerbread cookies are good.
I'm making a mess over here. This thing is so greasy.
But it's good.
It's good. This might be too much to wipe in my pants.
No, please don't wipe. Because I gotta do the laundry.
I need a napkin.
So anyway, it's really hard to get molasses out of your bowl and off of the table. Because once it dries, it's like concrete.
Oh, yeah.
So every time we make a dish that has molasses in it, we curse the day that molasses was introduced to our lives.
It looks like I didn't eat the meat, but
It's all bone.
most of it's bone. There's a little bit of meat, and then fat.
I ate most of the meat, but you can't really tell because there's so much bone.
They're
there's still
probably
some.
thinking I'm disgusting, but I mean, I gotta do what I gotta do to get it in my mouth.
It's chicken. It's gonna be hard.
Yeah, have you seen anybody
It's
eat
gonna
hot
be
wings?
rough.
They're always a mess.
Wait till you see us eat ribs.
That was delicious. And now I'm gonna move on to this.
Right. Tell them the story about that crust.
So this crust is my grandmother's recipe. Justine decided to use it. We needed a recipe, and she wanted to try one other than the one she normally uses, and so we did it.
Yeah. So this dish is made in honor of Ron's late grandma, because this is her pie crust recipe. It's really good. I honestly can't prove it.
No, it's good. It's
Yeah,
even
it's
better
perfect.
when it's in a peach cobbler or a pumpkin pie. And it's really easy. I'll tell you all the recipe after I take another bite here. And maybe one more.
You're making them impatient.
My belly's impatient, I'm sorry. One second.
Why did he even say it? Why did he even say it? Now people are waiting.
Okay. Wait. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. So for that pie crust, Justine used 3 cups of flour.
Yeah.
And she used 1.25 cups of butter. You could use lard, or if you are modern, you can use what they call, what is it?
No, don't even mention it. It's so unhealthy for you.
Okay, well anyways, use butter, unsalted butter.
But don't use that stuff. Use butter or lard.
3 cups of flour, 1.25 cups of butter or lard, 1/3 cup of cold water, and by the way, the butter has to be cold too.
Yeah.
You don't want it soft.
No.
And then
Vinegar.
a splash of vinegar, like a teaspoon of vinegar. I know it sounds weird. An egg, 1 egg beaten up. You beat the egg up and you put it in there.
And salt.
And then a pinch of salt, like whatever a pinch is to you, 1/2 teaspoon, teaspoon, whatever you fancy. Then you mix it together. But I should probably back up. You put your dry ingredients in first. Your salt and your flour. Stir it around.
And butter.
And then you put your butter, you cut your butter in. And then what you want to do is whip up the 1 egg, pour the egg in, pour the water in, pour the splash of vinegar in, and then mix it gently, don't overdo it. And then once you get it together, it's best if you just wrap it up and put it somewhere cool for a little bit so that it relax a little bit. And then bring it when you're ready and roll it out. And it keeps really well if you can find a way to freeze it. Maybe they'll invent that one day where we can actually freeze things, you know, during summertime, but you can reuse it.
You have an ice house.
Yeah, if you have an ice house, stick it in your ice house and use the excess for another recipe.
Right.
But no, it's very good.
The bacon in this is really good.
Yes, yes, yes. Whew.
The grease that's normally in bacon, it cooked off during the hour that I was cooking. It cooked off into the chicken. So the chicken is juicy, but the bacon isn't oily.
No, it all trickled down.
Which is good, because sometimes bacon can be a little too heavy.
It's in here now. Good.
Yeah.
Even this by itself, it's good. It's buttery. It's a little soggy from the chicky juice and bacon grease.
Right, the steam was getting on there while I was cooking.
This is why I am a large man. And I don't mean tall, I mean wide.
This is why every other person back then had gout. Gout is a disease you get when you eat too richly. Everything had so much cream and butter and sugar and alcohol.
Well, they were hard-working people, so
Yeah.
they eat hard. Eat hard, drink hard.
Die hard. Not the movie.
Oh, look at that. See how it puffed up? Nice and flaky.
Looks like a chip.
Yeah. Now, granted, this is a little soggy because we made it, you know, half hour ago, but
It's not really that soggy. I don't know.
it's holding its shape.
I mean, you hear it.
Okay.
It's fine.
Well, mine was saturated in grease. No, it's good though. Excellent.
Excellent.
Well, is it gonna rain or what? Come on now. Your crops ain't gonna grow themselves without water.
That's because you haven't done your rain dance.
I'm still working on it.
You gotta perfect it.
You don't do it right, it won't work.
How you don't get rain.
And if you do it wrong, you'll go through a drought. This rice is good.
If you don't do it right versus if you don't do it wrong, then you get a drought? Well, I'm confused. Okay, never mind.
If you do it right, it rains. If you do it wrong, it droughts.
That makes better sense.
That's what I meant to say.
That makes more sense.
You like?
Yeah. This isn't a bad idea, really. Having the crust separate.
I mean, I could pour that in there, but that's a big no-no, I think. I would be miserable, but it'd be so good. That'd be something my dad would like.
Probably.
You all remember my dad.
You go tell Arthur. If he sends you back, I'm coming after him. I'll deal with you too.
Arthur doesn't take kindly to threats.
This ain't no threat, son.
Now, not all pies back then required the top crust to be removed. Only some of them. For this, obviously, you have to. I mean, there's no debate about it. If there's a meat pie back then that had the bone in, then that automatically means that the crust is meant to be removed. Because at the end, you have to debone it so it's edible. And the recipe calls for 2 chickens. So at the end of it, common sense says you have to take the lid off, and then you have to serve up the chickens. You have to slice up the chickens. You know, I mean, you're not going to just cut through it and cut through all that and serve it in a pile on your plate with mashed up bones and stuff. That just wouldn't even look appealing to most people.
I mean, we kind of got mashed up.
Well, yeah, because we ate it. It's done. It's here right now.
That was really good.
Right, it was very good. It looks like I didn't eat a lot, but this is mostly bone. I mean, there's still a little bit of meat on it, but come on.
Here.
I mean, can't eat
boiled skin ain't my favorite, so... Oh, man. Woo! Oh, man. I could take a nap. I'm not tired, but I just want to, like, stretch out and...
Well, Ron has gout now.
Is that what gout is?
No. I mean, but we ate such rich food. Talk about this tea.
Oh, yeah. Well, here. Let's get these out of the way. Let's go for dessert.
This absolutely elegant and beautiful tea set that we now have acquired.
I will take care of these.
Okay, so I'm going to show you guys the most beautiful tea set I've ever laid my eyes on. And one of you viewers sent it to us as a surprise gift. I mean, it's incredible.
All the way out there from Spanish land, California.
That's right, Spanish-owned territory.
Oh, man. And she broke it.
No, I didn't break it. If I broke this, I would.
They have little delicate leads. It's only 3 leads, so it's hard to stable it.
Yeah, and it's not full at the moment, so it just tends to wobble more when it's not full. Look at that. That is gorgeous.
Yeah, she's out there where all them folks went for that gold rush.
Right.
That's gonna happen in 75 years from now.
Never heard of it. So we're gonna make this cacao cinnamon tea. We're gonna do it the fast way. So we're just gonna, we got these 2 heart strainers here. We're just gonna fill each of them with the tea, and we're just gonna stick it in here with hot water in here. This is the fast way. Probably not the most elegant way, but we're gonna get it done.
We gotta use what we got.
Yeah, we gotta use what we got.
Now the pewter store in St. Genevieve, ASA of Pewter, they do sell the little fancy pewter strainers that lay on the cup, and you just put your leaves in here loose and pour it, and it catches them, but we haven't been able to afford them yet, so this is how we're gonna do it.
I mean, I'm amazed that we even have this. This is too nice.
This is a very nice. This is a very nice gift.
Right, we're gonna have this for the rest of our lives.
Yes.
We're gonna bring this with us to our forever home.
This is the real deal. This is the Liberty tea set. So the pictorials on this are
18th century
yeah,
people.
about mid 18th century, because you can tell by the long waistcoats that go down to almost to your knee, and some of the pictorials on here that tells me it's around 1750s maybe.
Yeah, your cream would go in here if you like your tea with cream, and then your sugar would go in here.
Water and tea.
Yeah, and then your hot water
Finished
would go
product.
in here. We also have honey. If you would like honey.
Okay.
Though I feel like sugar would probably go better with chocolate tea than
Maybe.
honey.
Well, let's find out.
Yeah, let's find out. I'm gonna
There's
get.
only one way to find out.
I've had this hot water sitting over here for a bit. Oh, our fire!
One
Micro
nil?
food. I'll tend to it.
It's alright, it's hot out.
Here, how about you do this, Ron?
Okay.
Watch yourself. Watch yourself. You know I'm dangerous.
Yeah,
Look what I
my
did.
lap is right here.
Look what I nearly did to this. So here you go.
Thank you. It's smoking.
Steam.
She be hot.
Good, it has to be hot. This isn't iced tea.
Oh, I love iced tea.
I like iced tea.
Why are we drinking hot tea when it's 80 degrees outside? I don't understand that. Alright, I think that's enough. You can tell.
I mean,
Too
I
much
drink
steam.
tea even in summer. I don't really
That's
think
right.
of it like that.
Well, that's because you are you.
That's right. I mean, sometimes I even have soup in summer. Okay, now put some of the cacao shells in each of those heart things.
These were also sent to us by a lovely lady. I think she was from Illinois.
I think so. There's a clamp.
I found it. I know what I'm doing.
He does.
Sometimes.
Sometimes I just have to guide him a little bit. But he does the same with me.
Yes. Everybody needs a little guidance sometimes.
Yeah. Everybody. Even the most successful people on earth.
That's right.
If you've never made a mistake, it means you've never even tried.
Right. Okay, there's one.
Come on, fire. I'm gonna bust out the blow tube.
So the blow tube is a tube with a hole in it. And it doubles as a poker as well, but you can blow air. Whenever you want to get your fire going and you're blowing on it and it's just not doing it, the trick is you have to get the air below where your source of fuel would.
Yep, you have to get oxygen to the fire.
Otherwise you're just going to blow it out, but it has to come from underneath. That's why if you think a blacksmith forge, the air is coming from underneath, so it's...
You're gonna do it.
And you can see me demonstrating that in the very first video I'm in that come out, I think it was last June, over on Early American. That's when I first met Justine.
And we have fire.
Look at that.
This is what we use when just poking it don't work.
Okay, it smells good. Some of the tea leaves came through the thing, but you know, I'm not scared of the tea leaves in my drink.
It's not tea though, it's cocoa shells.
Okay, well, I'm not scared
It's
of
a tea, but it's not a tea.
I'm not scared of floaters is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I get you. Okay, we have fire. Let's see. It should have the instructions.
You don't need no instructions to make tea. You put it in water.
I know, but some teas they have to steep for 10 minutes. This one it says 5 minutes.
Okay.
I would not do that.
Okay.
Because that's what's going to make all the floaties come out.
Well, you can chew on chocolate.
Yeah, maybe. It might taste like wood bark. Because it's just the shells.
Well, while that's brewing...
Oh, we don't have any spoons.
I can't help you there. You dirtied them all. Wait, we have,
We don't want to use horn spoons.
No, it's too hot.
They'll split.
Okay, so we don't have any
Horn.
spoons. What do we need spoons for?
The sugar.
I'm thinking.
I found a spoon. It's not really the best spoon.
Okay.
I mean, the only other thing I got, let's see here. What do we got to work with? I got a spoon or I got a clothespin.
No clothespin. Don't we have...
A clothespin might work.
We got another pewter spoon up there. It's big, but... You don't know where that thing's been. You don't know whose underwear that's held up over the last 150 years. It's come from an antique store.
I think this will work.
The last thing those hung up might have been
your underwear.
Jimmy Longtree's underwear back in the Civil War.
Oh no, not Jimmy Longtree.
Or Aunt Penny's briefs or stockings that were stinky. I don't know.
Yeah, this is the worst possible.
Well, don't use that on mine. I don't want sugar in mine.
It works, see?
Well, good for you.
It'll just take probably 3 trips.
She doesn't touch chicken because it's greasy, but she uses a nasty 2-century-old clothespin as a sugar dipper for her. We got the little dippers right there that you got.
That's for honey, not for sugar.
You can't dip honey with that.
What are you talking about?
Those little scoopies.
Oh my gosh! This whole time we had that.
I've been saying it for the last 30 seconds.
The last 30 seconds.
Hey, that's a good fire you got going on back there.
That's right.
Yep.
Here, you can use that. It's too late. I've already done my damage.
No, I didn't carve this. She got this from Mr. Daniels in town. He carves wood.
Right.
Yeah, so.
Okay, so it's been 5 minutes, I'd say.
Yeah. Maybe 4 minutes
It
and 30
smells
seconds.
like chocolate.
Smells good to me.
Right. So are you going to have yours with sugar?
No.
Oh, you're just going to try it straight?
Yep.
Wow.
You want me to pour it up?
I do.
What is this for?
Well, we were looking for a spoon, but then I found this and my prayers were answered.
I don't know.
Some of you people out there are trying to make me civilized, telling me I gotta eat a certain way, and here I am doing the things I do. You know it's never gonna happen. I'm never gonna be civilized. Oh, wow. That's really pretty. I mean, I can't really show you.
Water doesn't really,
it doesn't
tilt.
really stay as I wish it. It's orange.
Sounds like somebody peed. Put that there. This is so small. How am I supposed to get my finger in this hole here?
It's made for ladies. It's hot, Ron. I told you it was hot. Oh my goodness. I told you it was hot. This is the 3rd time today he's burnt his tongue.
It started out okay because I was sucking enough air and then it all went in.
I'm gonna take my time because I can't handle super hot
I think
things.
it needs to be stronger. I don't taste enough chocolate.
Oh really?
I mean, I'm expecting it to look like hot chocolate, but I don't.
No, it's just tea. It's not gonna look like hot chocolate.
I'd rather just drink hot chocolate. It's a ripoff.
Does it taste like anything?
I don't know. It's too hot. I couldn't taste it.
Well, that's his problem. He burnt his tongue. So of course you don't taste it.
Try to get more flavor out of it. I like the cups.
I like the cups.
The tea, I don't taste it.
I really like how they have little feet. That's very dainty and elegant.
Yeah, it's very pretty.
Very pretty.
A very nice gift.
Yeah, this is very nice. Tea time with Ron and Justine.
Tea time, you old chap.
And her clothespin.
Pinky out.
I don't think I'm ready yet.
It's the pinky out club.
I mean, sure, I'll try.
Oh.
He was slipping.
This is hard to do. You gotta like pinch it.
I mean, he's got kind of fat fingers. I'm not calling you fat. I
You
just said
used
you
the
got.
F word.
I just said you got
You
fat
used
fingers.
the F word.
Fingers, your fingers, your fingers.
You said fat
Not the
though.
rest of you.
Oh, so you meant pH fat, right?
Yeah, fat. He's got some fat
Man, it's
fingers.
getting hot. Okay, here we go. I don't really taste chocolate.
Do you taste anything though? Because you burnt your tongue.
I don't know how to describe it.
I taste chocolate. It has that nutty aftertaste that chocolate has.
It smells like somebody's basement.
No, it does not. Ron, people watching this are never gonna want to try this tea, and they're never gonna want to try the chicken.
Disclaimer: Ron only likes iced sweet tea. So don't take my advice with this.
Ron-
Listen to her. She is the tea connoisseur. So
yeah, clearly, right? Ron cannot describe food very good. I mean, you saw him earlier. He was like, "Oh, this chicken is so good. It's so tender. Oh, but it's so greasy. Oh, but it's so good. But it's so greasy. Oh, but it's so good. Ooh, it's so greasy." And then drinking this tea, like, it smells really good.
I'm just not a hot
But
tea fan.
It smells like someone's basement. Like,
for hot tea, it's good, but I'm just personally not a hot tea fan.
really?
I'm drinking it, but I like iced tea. It's 80 degrees outside. I'm sweating in here, and I'm drinking hot tea. Explain that to me.
I can't explain.
This is why we threw it overboard back in the 70s, because we had enough.
To try to save people's lives. We had enough. But he drinks hot coffee on an 80-degree day?
That's different. That's different. Somebody back me up in there.
It's not different. Jeez Louise. Well, I think it tastes really good.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, this is good.
Good.
I
Glad
mean,
you like it.
The problem might be that you did not add enough sugar.
I didn't add any sugar. No.
I used that spoon to clean the chicken coop, by the
Are you
way.
serious?
No. I'm not serious. Try it. Smell it. It smells fine.
Whack you with the spoon.
Oh, you don't want... Oh. That was domestic violence.
Have you seen her domestic violence?
You haven't, because there isn't any domestic violence.
Y'all remember my nemesis Arthur? Not that I'm sticking up for him.
That wasn't domestic violence. I don't even know the man.
We let him in the house.
So it automatically becomes a domestic issue? I suppose so. Hey, speaking of drums, how about that giant drum that we have sitting on the floor right next to us?
We can talk about that. Let's move
let's move all this out of the way. Although
we can keep this, but we can just move this out of the way. Sit that there. Sit that there. All right. So we have it's a project. The St. Genevieve Militia here does not have a drum.
Not yet.
I'm tired of doing these parades, and
everyone else has really good music, and we don't.
Have nothing.
And oh my gosh, don't even get me started on the Scots.
They have like
the Scots have bagpipes and everything when they
drums,
parade through here.
Bass drums, people dancing. So this year we want at least something to keep time with as we're marching.
We're a little jealous.
So I'll go into a little bit modern with you. The local music store had a bass drum and a floor tom from a drum set that they were willing to give me.
Yeah, they donated
for this project.
Mm-hmm.
So I brought them home. I removed all of the metal hardware. I measured the holes that were left behind, which there's like 30 holes for each drum, because there's 2 screws for every
Just show them the drummer, they can't understand.
Okay, alright, fine, whatever. Anyways, it went from being a 1980s drum to a 1780s rope drum. Now it's not finished yet. I've got to make, they call them ears. They're pieces of leather that slide down to make tension on each of these. That's how you get the drum tight, and when you're not playing it, you slide them up to release the tension. But this is a 16-inch by 16-inch snare drum.
Good job, Ron.
So we haven't painted it yet. Well, I've painted it Patriot Blue here, but we've not put a piece of art on it
Right. I'm probably going to put an eagle on it.
I think we're going to do an eagle, and we might put a banner coming out of its mouth saying St. Genevieve or something like that. I'm not sure yet. We're not really sure. There's a couple of ideas we're flirting with, but anyways, that's what we're working on. And yes, I'll play it whenever it's done, not now.
I asked him to play it, and I could dance, but
well, we can't.
It's not.
I can't get the heads tight without those pieces.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that's what it sounds like.
It's really loose.
It takes
right now
a lot of tension. That's why they're called rope tension drums.
Right.
These have been used for hundreds of years, probably all the way back to medieval. That's how they were, maybe even before that. Whoever invented the drum probably invented, a tension drum. But these are still used today.
But someday I will be in the background and Ron will be.
Something like that.
Just like that, times 10.
So anyways, we'll have a drum so when we do drilling exercises or any kind of parading or just to keep us walking to something, this will be good. So that's what we're working on. And we have a bass drum as well. It's not in here. So it's going to be red, like this shade of red or the red like you see in our cabin. And then we're going to do the brass tack designs on it. As you can see on some of the other drums that don't have paint work on them, they have the tacks and it's really neat looking.
When it's done, you said beat it to the march of us just walking. When it's done, can I go to St. Genevieve downtown, just walk around, and you can walk behind me and just play?
You have to carry the gun.
Oh, here comes the queen!
Nope, you have to dress like a man. You have to wear the tricorn and the vest and carry the gun.
Why do I gotta do that, though?
Well, why do I gotta do that?
It's just to announce my presence.
It's just you. I'm just kidding. It's hot in here.
I take that as a no. That I can't have a soundtrack wherever I go.
So, but if anybody has any useful information on drums or has one they want to donate, we'll take another one. Update. I can taste it now. Now that it's cooled off.
You mean now that your tongue isn't?
Yes, it's quite pleasant actually.
Steak?
It's pretty smooth.
Yeah, it is. It is pleasant. It smells very good. Like chocolate. It is pleasant. I like it. So how would you describe it? Now that you can taste it.
Well, the very
That's
end.
water. Remember?
No, it's not. It's tea.
Oh yeah, you're
Would you like another glass?
Okay.
Madame.
Yes.
Put your sugar in first so this melts it.
Yes.
And I'll take a little scoop, I guess. Please.
Oh. Very well. See how demanding he is?
I said please. And you're using the... Just don't stick it in the water. Okay, that's funny.
It wasn't in the water, technically.
There we are. There we be.
Now do you want to do something really, really unclassy?
What's that? Tink.
That's really unclassy for tea.
They end up breaking it.
Mm-hmm. It's good.
Yeah, now it tastes, now it's enjoyable. I still call this hot tea. Super warm tea. But it's not like scald your tongue off and can't taste it.
Your tongue literally just turned to roast beef so you couldn't taste anything anymore.
Yeah.
If I fed you $500 steak, you'd be like, oh, this tastes like shoe leather. Because your tongue is dissolved. It's like a little anchovy in his skull right now. It's floating around. Because your tongue is gone. It's not even in Missouri anymore. It's melted.
Mm.
It's the third time today he's burnt his tongue.
Okay, this is really good actually now. My taste is coming back. And the longer it sits in those few leaves that are in there.
It's because this added flavor. Jebediah Longtree's underwear
Oh no.
really added a nice juicy flavor.
Well, it's still not raining. It's dark out there, but I mean, whatever.
That's good because we're gonna go to Candy's later today.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, and I'd rather not go in a storm.
I'm gonna pop downtown, see what she's got for sale. I think she's got some new items in there at the store. And
yeah, we'll just say hi to her. We're there all the time.
Yeah.
Ron actually painted his cart, and he painted a barn red, and it's in front of Candy's store.
Got a new coat of paint on the wagon for Pioneers Days coming up in 2 weeks from now.
Right.
So we wanted it to look fresh.
Right.
So now it's fresh.
It's fresh. Eye-catching. Well, Ron, let's head on over.
Okay.
I'm full, and at least my cup's empty.
All right. Well, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Thank you guys for joining us on this lovely day.
Yes.
We love y'all.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We love you. Thank you so much for everything. You take care and you have a great rest of your day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.